How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What up, Will?
What up?
Everybody, welcome to another week of Story of the Fight. My name is Romero. That's my boy, Will.
What up?
Yeah, he just says, yeah, that's me. That's
me. Welcome to church.
Welcome to church. We talk everything fights. We had a few fights going on last night. And we had some scraps. Want to remind everybody, if you like our content, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave some comments. You can find us on Spotify, Breaker Podcast, Radio Public, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcasts. So essentially anywhere you can find a podcast. We're there.
Yep. Shout out San. Good morning. Yes. Fun last night with you.
Will, Miro, and Rich. Of course, Rich in the background too. I can't forget Rich. Again, we continue remembering and like just how valuable Rich is, and how much he means to the podcast, dude. When he's not with us, it's tough.
It has a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Dude holds it down.
He does. He holds it down.
Yeah. Social medias, at Story of the Fight on Instagram and Twitter. And then Facebook, we have a group chat at Story of the Fight chat. And obviously, we're here on YouTube as well. We talk about fights.
We talk everything fights. And last night, there were some fights. Mm-hmm. And do you want to just go and get started? Go straight into them?
Let's get into it. Yeah.
All right.
UFC Vegas 40?
UFC Vegas 40. Ladd versus Dumont. So recently, Ladd missed weight. And because of that, she was punished and given the main event. So replaced Holly Holm, right? Mm-hmm. What'd you think about this fight, Will?
This was a fight that happened once again. It's got some interesting tidbits, right? Like Dumont showcased a jab that I haven't seen from her. Nasty jab, dude. For the first 3 rounds, Aspen Ladd couldn't even look at that. Just right on the money. Yep. That jab just kept her away for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
It was so fast, and she wasn't leaving herself open, right? Like that's a still image, right? But if you watch it in motion, she snapped it right back as soon as it landed. She's back in position. Really, nothing Aspen Ladd could do. Then there's some weirdness with the corner with Aspen Ladd. Like the internet's kind of going crazy about the corner work she got.
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of those reports earlier today. Fourth round.
That was 4th round. The most and probably only significant thing that Aspen Ladd had throughout the whole fight was once she swept Dumont with like 45 seconds left in the round, and went pretty hard with the elbows and the ground and pound. But I mean, she couldn't get the finish there. It wasn't enough to really alter the outcome of the fight. Obviously, there was really no threat, in my opinion, of it being stopped. The time was. I mean, she only had like 30 seconds to work, right?
Yep.
It was just kind of too little, too late, right?
Absolutely. And in the 5th round, it was Ladd who had Dumont clinched up against the cage, did a lot of, dirty boxing, couple elbows from inside the clinch, knee to thighs. And I think, for anybody that didn't listen in last night, we had a live fight companion. And we were talking about the fact that this is something that Ladd should have been doing since the 2nd round when she saw that she was getting picked apart by Dumont.
All 3 judges gave her the 5th round. So, I mean, granted, Dumont's probably, more tired. She was the one that was, let's be real. The first 3 rounds, Ladd really wasn't exerting any energy. You know what I mean? She was taking shots, right? And that takes your energy away. But it was Dumont that was throwing with all the volume. So could she have done that from the get-go? Maybe. Yeah. She just couldn't find an answer for the jab.
We'll never
couldn't find a way around it. Yeah. But her corner, her boyfriend is her head coach, which I did not know.
That's her boyfriend? Okay, so look, this is my thing, right? The many faces of Aspen Ladd. So last night she did not seem very receptive. And I don't know, maybe that's just how she is most of the time. Because even going in and before the fight started, the camera pans to her, and it's a very like even keel type of emotion. She's not too high, not too low. She's just there, right?
Yeah.
But look, there it is. Just a little smirk, right?
Yeah. Hey, good morning, Vic.
Vikram, good morning, my man. Cheers from Chile for to win MMA. Cheers, man. Cheers. Welcome on to Story of the Fight. But yeah, I was thinking just her mental space, where she at, how is she responding to the tough corner work. But how do you feel about it, Will? So
for me, someone pointed it out that this is what got her the win. That type of corner work got her the win in the Yana Kunitskaya fight. The last win was full on, like, aggressive, get your shit together, go out there, and she got the third round finish. So I think it's something that, like, they know more about it. It's we say it all the time, right? Coaches know more about their fighters than we do, right? Word. So from the outside, it's one of those things that when it works, like it did against Kunitskaya, it kind of gets praised, right? Wow, he turned their fighter around, right? He knows what he needs to do to get her into gear. When it doesn't work, it looks like bullying. You know what I mean? So maybe, when you realize, like, hey, this isn't working, maybe we try a different approach. But like I said, I mean, it's her head coach, it's her boyfriend. He knows her way more than I do. I don't know if I'm willing to, like, fully defend it all, but I mean, he knows better than we do, and it's worked in the past.
I think you're right, though. Right? If Aspen pulls this off, we're here talking about how they lit a fire under her ass, and she was able to pull this off. She doesn't pull it off, and we're sitting here talking about, like, how it was borderline bullying. So, two different stories could have gone either way, all depending on how the outcome ended up, right?
Yeah.
By the way, now having somebody listening to us from Chile, I'm wondering if we need to make a Historia de la Pelea, and like we just dub it in Spanish. That'd be fantastic.
And I do your dubs and you do mine.
Oh, that'd be perfect. No, but too little, too late. Aspen lad. Yeah. Not sure about the mental space she was in. Not sure how she was responding to the tough corner work. He went as far as issuing an apology and a statement. Did you see
post-fight?
Yeah, no, post-fight.
It did not.
He went up there. I don't know if Rich can find it. We probably should have had that ready for the podcast. My bad. But he went through and apologized. And he said that he put the loss completely on himself. That he understands that the corner work might have come through as tough for some people, and that he's going to try to do better and try to be a better coach for the next fight.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we should be making a huge deal about this.
Yeah, how about Misha? Did you see what Misha Tate said?
Yeah, we might have that in the news a little bit later if you want to hold off.
I'll hold off. How about that?
How about that? It might be on the news. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but other than that, great showing by Dumont.
Yeah, great showing by Dumont. Aspen lad has the skill set, I think, to do big things. It's just like HLB Comer said last night. Like, there's a mental thing that needs to be dealt with or figured out, kind of,
Agreed. All right.
Yeah.
Before that, here it is. Rich pulled it up. Rich, would you be able to read it? Yeah, he's so quick.
Yeah, I've got it right
Young
here.
Jamie, eat your heart out.
To Jim_West_Gold on Instagram. Tonight was not our night. It's been our night many, many times at the highest level, but not tonight. I blame myself. Though it may not be my fault, it's not up for debate. I take all the blame. Yes, after the first couple of rounds, I may have been a little harsh, but I know Aspen, and at that time, technical conversation was not in the cards being down 3 rounds. Nonetheless, I own it, and I'm sorry. Aspen lad, from the bottom of my heart, I will continue to be better each time. And some ads after that. Ariel
so kind of like, hey, my fault, but not my fault. Like, that's kind of like what I picked up in the beginning. Might not be my fault, but I take the blame.
It's like when fighters are like, no excuses, but like there were some things behind the scenes, but like no excuses.
But no excuses. But also don't break up with me. Like, that's what it says on the bottom, pretty much.
All right. I mean, you take credit for what you can,
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go on to the co-main event, which was Andrei Arlovski versus Carlos Felipe. This was a fun fight.
Yeah.
All right. So Andrei Arlovski coming in.
I should say.
That was his 52nd pro fight. Holy smokes. We talked about how 42 years old, still doing the damn thing, all natty with a fantastic beard. Well, the
pro
truth is fantastic beard. Dude, that's insane. You said you were how old in 99?
3.
You were 3 years old when Arlovski made his pro debut.
Yeah, and he's fought at least once every year since then.
That's amazing, man. He's a legend.
Yeah. No
Andre
long
Arlovski's a legend.
time off, no retirements, coming back, none of that bullshit. Just
Beating up bullies in the process.
beating
Bully
up
beatdown.
bullies. Yeah.
Dude, just fantastic. But his boxing looked so crisp last night. You know, his ability to keep it in the range that he wanted. He was able to control that the entire time. We were talking about how Felipe has the equalizer.
Yeah, he's got that power.
Yeah, but dude, he was able to eat some shots in the process too. You know, there was a time where Felipe had a flurry and had Arlovski up against the cage, and he ate some pretty big shots.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, by the way, the tattoo says brawler.
Brawler, not banger.
Brawler, not
Brawler.
banger. Yeah, so we just want to make sure we clear that up. And, you know, anybody that was listening to us last night, we were saying it said banger. Not that brawler's any better right underneath your eye, but.
I'm for it.
Oh, shit. Dude, you're going to come back next week with SOF under your eye?
I'm a Felipe fan, man. I really like Felipe. But he gets in there, eats a shot, and he's like, what's up?
You should put it on your eyelids so that whenever you like take a nap anywhere, you're like advertising for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But dude, it was a good fight.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those fights where the second round decided it, right? First round, Arlovski. Second round was kind of the tide turning a little bit. Third round, a clear Felipe round. Second round is kind of...
Look at the flying knee.
Who expected the flying knee?
Not Arlovski.
No, I mean, he ate it. Ate it well, though.
He did. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm surprised his chin is still there after all these years.
Yeah.
And he's been in some wars.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in dog fights.
Look, he's in fantastic shape, though, man.
Yeah, he really is.
So, Sanchez says the tattoo curse. Maybe, dude. It might be. And like we said, Felipe, I feel like showed up with multiple new tattoos this time around. Not messing around.
Yeah.
Not messing around.
It was a good fight, man. I remember when watching live, you said something like, "Yeah, probably not a fight that a lot of people are gonna rewatch." I'll probably rewatch this one, man. This was a fun one for me. Watching heavyweights fight like that, it's different when, like a lot of times, even Felipe, right? You watch his fights, he gets into dog fights, right? But he has that knockout power. But when two heavyweights are cracking each other with the big shots and they don't go down, like that's fun to watch, man. There's nothing else quite like it, honestly.
Felipe's deceiving, dude, because you see dude and you're like, okay, he's not going to have very much cardio and he's not going to be very athletic. And, you know, and dude can move, man.
Dude
and
won the third round.
And he's quick. Yeah,
he's super quick. That second round is close, man. I have to rewatch it. Watching it live, I scored it for Arlovski the whole fight, but I mean, obviously we were fucking talking about Batman and shit, so...
no, we didn't start talking about Batman until Aspen lad.
True. But I kind of want to rewatch that second round without watching the first or third, you know, and just kind of really see who won that. Because I gave it to Arlovski, but it was so fucking close. It's one of those rounds where, like, the first half goes to one person, the second half goes to another, and it's like...
Who did the most damage at that point then?
Yeah, right, yeah. I think Felipe technically outstruck him by, like, 2 shots. But 2 shots doesn't really make a difference. Like you said, damage is kind of the more important criteria. But fucking cool fight. I really liked this fight.
Yeah, it ended up being a really fun fight. And like we said, Arlovski's still doing the damn thing, man. 52 fights in, 42 years old. What's next for Arlovski? And I don't know. We talked about it yesterday. Like, he's probably not going to make another run at heavyweight for the title. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you give him somebody in, like...
Walt Harris? Ivanov?
Yeah, Ivanov maybe. Walt Harris maybe.
That'd be a fun fight. Yeah. I'd like to see Felipe get in that top 15 too, though, honestly. This is not a bad showing for either guy, you know? It's one of those fights where there's no real loser, in my opinion.
Did Felipe fight Sakai, Augusto Sakai?
I don't remember.
I feel like they've already fought each other. I just, again, it's hard for me to remember what I did last week, so it's kind of hard for me to remember who everybody has fought. But overall,
not fought him, but he has fought Sergey Spivak. That was a loss. But I mean, 3-fight winning streak going into this one. So
okay, well, yeah, we'll see what's next for Andrei Arlovski. Still a fan favorite for a lot of people, and again, one of those staples of not just the UFC but MMA.
Yeah, I mean, dude, his fights in Pride. I mean, dude, his Affliction, right? I think he fought an Elite XC. Gnarly, old school.
Old school. All right. Before that, we had Jim Miller versus our boy Erick Ghost Pepper Gonzalez.
Yep.
Take it away, Will.
What a crazy first round.
Very
what a crazy
first round.
My first initial impression in this fight was so impressed with how Ghost Pepper immediately was throwing shots, right? He wasn't tentative. He wasn't he didn't have to ramp up or anything like that. A lot of times, I mean, they say it all the time. UFC debuts are notoriously very difficult, right? Chandler had a very good debut. Gaethje had a very good debut, but especially the Gaethje one dealt with adversity, right? And I was
Against Michael Johnson, was it?
Yeah. I mean, he ended up winning, right? But it was crazy, and he got hurt in that fight by Johnson. But I was like, all right, let's see how this first minute goes. But as soon as it started, it's like, man, Ghost Pepper's been in there. If you told me this was his first fight in the UFC on 10 days' notice after watching that first round, I'd be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Dude, he came in there. He was landing that lead left hook that was he was opening up all the combos with the lead left hook, and it was so good. And then he ends up wobbling him with that same left hook to start a combo, puts him down. Man, so impressive, There was no jitters. It didn't seem you
get reminded of how much being a veteran in the octagon means, though, because after he gets dropped, you see how crafty Jim Miller is. He realizes he's in trouble, and the very next thing he does is he picks the ankle, right, and starts trying to grab a hold of Ghost Pepper's legs and says, "Hey, I got to switch it up right now."
That's why we need to bring back soccer kicks. Bring in some soccer kicks, because then if you're rocked and you're going for ankles, not a space you really want to be in a fight, right? In the sport, it's great, right?
Yep.
That's a good move. In a fight, I'm not reaching for ankles. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
But I mean, you do the rules, right? You fight with the rules, and all props to Jim Miller. I'm a huge Jim Miller fan as well.
We all are.
Yeah. How can you not like Jim Miller?
Classy guy. And for
Gave
Ghost
him props
Pepper
in the interview.
Ghost Pepper, you see hear the agony of defeat, right? But he's living his dream, man. During the interview we had with him, he talks about the fact that he wanted to get in the UFC. Look at him, man. Erick Gonzalez, the Ghost Pepper, walking around the octagon, being introduced.
That's a dope picture, dude. With the flag behind it, with the fucking
the largest MMA organization in the world, and you could say that you fought in that organization, dude. Everybody in the UFC is tough. Everybody. The only time that I wasn't able to say that was when they brought what's his name in, the wrestler.
Punk.
CM Punk. Yeah. But even then, he ate some shots.
He walked the walk, dude. He got in there.
He got in there. A lot of people won't do that, and you know what? A lot of people aren't willing to take on Jim Miller for their UFC debut
on 10 days notice.
On 10 days notice, making championship weight. So, dude, just so much to be proud of.
I mean, two judges gave him the first round, right? Yep. So he won the first round in his UFC career. That's pretty cool.
That's fantastic.
Pretty fucking cool.
I don't know if you remember, Will, going into the fight, I said that my one concern was the adrenaline dump. And I don't know if that's what happened. But you do see a little bit of a change in speed at the end of the first round, beginning of the second round.
Yeah, but I mean, that's going to happen, right? Yeah. I don't think it was an adrenaline dump. I think obviously I have no fucking clue what I'm talking about, but because to open up the second round, Ghost Pepper landed a good left hand that he really closed the distance well with. He was out of punching range, got in punching range, lands the left hand, and he's out. I think it was just it's a double-edged sword, right? I was praising how he was very comfortable in there, right, in the first round. Very comfortable. He wasn't gun shy. He wasn't apprehensive. He was doing his thing, right? The flip side of that is when you're in that flow state and you're kind of feeling yourself and you're doing stuff, he throws the kick, right? Leaves himself open a little bit for the left hand coming back. I don't know if it was an adrenaline dump. I think it was just, he just got caught,
I would love to ask him.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get him back on the podcast soon.
Yeah. Name two fighters that win them all. I can name one.
Who? Just Khabib?
Yeah, but there's nobody else.
Yeah, that's right. That's
right.
Yeah. So,
Jim Miller, for Christ's sake, he's got 16 losses. But who cares? It doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Everybody's so worried about being undefeated, Khabib undefeated. It's cool, but like, I mean, you know what is equally as impressive? Someone like Bisping, right? Double-digit losses, long road to the title, ends up getting it. I mean, that's damn impressive.
Thank you, Luke Rockhold. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Pillow hands got him. All right. Well, like I said, hopefully we get Ghost Pepper back on soon. We'll talk about the UFC experience, and then we'll go from there. We have some questions to ask, and maybe we'll hear it straight from the horse's mouth, right, or the Ghost Pepper's mouth.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Fantastic showing, though.
Fantastic. Super proud. Hey, dude.
Look at us.
All right. Look at us. Same wavelength. All right. Before that, we had Fiorot versus Bueno Silva. Fiorot, man, very crisp striking. Very impressive.
That's what we knew, right, going into this, right? The questions were, how is she going to deal with a grappler? How is she going to deal with someone? Because her last 2 fights, someone unranked, and then someone who's not supposed to be in their weight class, right? Short notice fight. But then this was like, okay, this is a good test here, right? For a lot of people, they were saying, let's see how she deals with this one, because I'm not fully sold. I'm sure there's still going to be people who are like, I'm still not fully sold. Bueno Silva didn't really do much. There's a difference between not doing something or like not doing much and then not being able to do anything.
Ooh, look at that right there.
Yeah, seriously.
Hey, she was catching Bueno Silva. Bueno Silva kept on coming in with that high guard.
Yeah.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
What was it, like a round and a half, the first round and a half, where there was little head movement?
Yeah, I mean, she was here, right? And Fiorot was opening up with the lead right hook. She'd jump in with the right hook, and it'd come right around the hand, knock her this way, and then she'd start splitting the guard with the straight punches. I mean, fantastic job. No one-shots, just full combos. Excellent footwork. Didn't get trapped against the cage. Bueno Silva did a decent job of cutting off the cage, right? She wasn't just chasing her the whole time. The problem was, as soon as she would get her trapped, that's when Fiorot would go and then circle out. She never got stuck. You know what I mean?
And Bueno Silva, like I said it yesterday, those faces she kept on making, you know, whenever she was getting clocked. Yeah, that one right there, Rich. Thanks.
Good job.
Thanks, Rich. Sticking her tongue out, putting her hands behind her back. It's different when there's some crazy exchanges, you know, and you see stuff like that going on. You're like, oh, man, what's going to happen next? In this case, you knew exactly what was going to happen. Bueno Silva would make a face, put her hands behind her back, approach Fiorot again, and get clocked on the face, make a face again. And it's like, you can't be doing that. And I think
what I don't like?
What?
No, go ahead. My bad.
No, I was just going to say, I think I said it yesterday. She reminded me so much of Beish Kohea.
Yeah.
Right. It reminded me so much of Beish Kohea, where she.
Man, how bad were the Reebok kits when they first started?
Oh, awful. But waving people in, making faces, then she'd end up either getting dropped or, you know, ask how it went against Holly Holm. Or,
I mean, you told her that the last time you watched her fight was against Ronda Rousey.
Oh, super embarrassing. That's true. That's a true story. So I'm at work. I'm walking through the store and I see Beish Kohea. And so I go introduce myself. I didn't let her know, hey, I know who you are, Beish Kohea, right? So she's looking for an iPad, actually, an iPad mini. Sell her the iPad mini. And I asked her, I was like, hey, are you still training at AKA? And she looked surprised and she goes, yeah, I'm still training there, you know? And I was like, oh, cool, which would explain why you're over here. And I was like, yeah, hey, I've watched some of your fights. And she goes, oh, yeah, which ones? And I was like, oh, I just watched your fight against Ronda Rousey. And she goes, oh. Like, oh, probably not the fight where, it was rough. But she was nice.
Yeah.
So super nice. So maybe she just wanted me to sell her the iPad and get the hell out of there. Maybe that's why she was being nice. I don't know. But poor baby.
You know what I don't like about when fighters put their hands behind their back like that?
What?
I don't like when they do that and then pull it back as soon as like they get into striking range. If you're gonna do that, like anybody can do that when they're outside of range.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do it like Tyson Fury, Roy Jones Jr., where when you do it, Prince Nassim, and then slip some shots with your hands behind your back.
Bob and weave.
Until you're doing that, don't do it. Connor put him back against Eddie Alvarez and then right back as soon as they got close. This one, same thing. It's like, what are we doing here, man? What's the point of that?
Sure. Yeah, it's just like I said, it just was driving me insane yesterday. But great showing by Fiorot. She was the start of our parlay yesterday, and we're like, all right, parlay's going pretty good, you know. And then it didn't.
Yeah, and then it didn't, and then it kept not going.
All right, it is what it is.
Sansan, Manon the Beast Fiorot versus King Casey O'Neill would be an excellent next fight. I would love to see it. I second that matchup suggestion by OG Shawnee Mack. Yeah, that's a good fight. Casey O'Neill coming off a win. I would like to see that or Andrea Lee. Either of those two fights, I would love to see. Casey O'Neill versus Manon would be fun, dude.
That would
be a fun fight.
That would.
And a real, again, if people still aren't quite on the train for Manon, that's a good fight. That's a very good benchmark.
Or Casey O'Neill.
For both of them. Yeah, true. I think more people are probably a little bit more high on Casey O'Neill because I think she's showcased more of a diverse game, right?
I think this would give either one of them a boost, though. Whoever wins between Fiorot or O'Neill, I think it'd be good. Yeah.
The only downside of a matchup like that is it's one of those matchups where it's prospect versus prospect. One gets a step back. But, I mean, that's what happens.
Unless they both have a really good showing. And they both technically win in the public eye, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, that's what happens in the UFC, right? If you're a prospect, unless you're a very special chosen person by the UFC, you're going to get tested. No, he's been tested. Come on. Chito Vera, that's a tough fight.
Who else outside of Chito Vera?
Chito Vera.
Chito Vera.
That's a tough fight, man. Chito Vera
it is. And I'm not downplaying Chito Vera. I'm saying that's a really tough fight. But I'm saying that they've been more careful with Sean O'Malley than they have with other fighters.
But there's a difference with that one, I think, because Sean O'Malley has leverage in a way that most prospects don't, right? He has leverage. And he's actually verbalized saying, I want to take easy fights until my contract's up because right now I'm making dog shit money. I don't want to make dog shit money to fight these killers. Here we go. And also his next fight, Paeva's dangerous.
That's a tough one.
That's a very tough fight.
That's a tough one. I like that fight.
Yeah, me too. I like both those guys.
Me too.
Both very entertaining.
But yeah, I mean, whatever it is, whether it's because of leverage that Sean O'Malley has or not, that my point is that he's one of those prospects that, either he's being more careful with who he says yes to, or the UFC is being more careful with who they offer him. But either way, the way that he's coming up in the game is probably the way that a lot of these young prospects should be coming up.
It's kind of how Aspinall's doing it, right? Aspinall's like, I don't want to fight for the title yet. I'm not ready
so
for
smart,
that.
Man. So smart.
But it's different and I'm not saying you're like this, but a lot of people see Aspinall saying that and they're like, yeah, that's smart, dude. Good for him. But then people say, and they look at Sean O'Malley and they're like,
what a bum.
Like, what a bum, dude. He just wants to fight cans the whole time. Like, it's weird, right? I get it, right? That's the whole part of his gimmick is to make people hate him, but
I was going to say, that's exactly what I was going to say. The difference, though, Aspinall's always come through as like very humble, and O'Malley very outlandish and attention craver, and so that's probably where the differences come. But again, smart moves so far. All right. Before that, we had Nate Landwehr versus Klein. How do you pronounce that?
Ľudovít. Yeah.
Ľudovít. I was close, dude, the first time. All right. Ľudovít Klein. Dude, Landwehr had a lot of pressure, man. Once he realized that Klein didn't like the pressure, he just kept on pouring it on and just kept him on his back foot, which was fantastic.
Well, so like going into this, a lot of people, right, obviously were talking shit about this card, and on Reddit, somebody was like, I was like, dude, there's a lot of interesting matches on this card that I'm really excited for. And someone was like who? Like, I don't really know most of these names. So I was like, fuck, okay. So on my phone, I typed out this long ass thing of all the fights I was excited for and like why, And this one was like, going into it, Ľudovít Klein, his striking is so goddamn good, and he's so precise, and he's very technical, clinical, right? And I was like, but Landwehr's the absolute opposite. Got a crazy gas tank, will get through you, will apply the pressure. He needs to close the distance, otherwise Klein's going to pick him apart from the outside. Klein's got to keep the distance. Which one's going to budge? And Nate Landwehr just fucking powered through everything. That dude
absolute
is
savage, man.
He got cut after his last fight. They brought him back for this one. He got cut.
Did he really?
Why in the post-fight interview, he was like, maybe now I'll keep my job or something like that. I mean, he got cut. And I was kind of surprised when he got cut because I haven't seen a boring fight with him.
Yeah.
He might not win them all, right? But he's not in boring fights. And usually that's like a pass. You get a pass at the UFC. So but I was excited to see him again in the UFC. I was kind of bummed when he got cut.
Yeah.
So I hope they keep him around.
So, for the longest time, you hear people say like, oh man, that person is a bulldog. They're like a bulldog, man. And I was like, all right, they're a tough person, I never really understand it until I got my English bulldog Aussie. Because that fool is so stubborn and he does not listen. and like I'll like partially open up the door because I don't want to let him in, and he just puts his head down and bulldozes until he gets in, dude. And I'm like,
that's Landwehr.
Now I get it.
That's
now
crazy.
I get it. Landwehr is a fucking bulldog, man. Like he just doesn't stop until he gets his way. And look, what a finish too, man. So this was the second attempt, right?
Yeah.
Was it the second round where he had it and Klein was able to get out?
Mm-hmm.
Sinks it again in the third round, and the commentators also pointed out, I think it was Bisping, was like, hey, at the third round, a lot more tired, a lot more winded. It's a lot easier at this point to get somebody to tap off of this.
Arms are bigger, too, in the third round.
More swollen?
Swollen, yeah.
Makes sense.
But on the flip side, you're slipperier, so...
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Pros and cons. All right, but it was a fun fight.
Yeah, and how about they cut Landwehr after 3 UFC fights? But listen to the people he's fought, man.
They're
fucking. It's like they want people to get like highlight reel finishes off of him or something. And like, dude, first fight, Herbert Burns, right? When Herbert Burns was like very highly touted, right? He got kneed, KO'd from a knee in the clinch in the first round. Then he fights Darren Elkins. Talking about two bulldogs against each other, right?
Yep.
Then he's supposed to fight Shane Young. Very dangerous prospect. It gets canceled. I don't know what happened. Landwehr tested positive for COVID. Then they book him against fucking Evloev.
Oh my god!
And then Evloev tests positive for COVID. Then they give him Julian Erosa, who's on his comeback train. He gets flying knee KO'd by Julian Erosa. Then they're like, okay, yeah, let's give you Makwan Murakami. And then that gets canceled. And they're like, okay, now let's give you Ľudovít Klein. Like, dude.
Yeah.
No, like we said earlier, no easy fights. Easy fights.
Dude, that's nuts, man. That's nuts. But he had a really nice performance yesterday. And like he said, hopefully he gets to keep his job.
Yeah, I believe he was a pretty big underdog in that fight too.
But, also Landwehr, this is not a job. This is an opportunity. Yeah. So hopefully you keep on getting more opportunities according to Dana White. It's not a job.
Yeah.
Okay. Before that, we had Bruno Silva versus Andrew Sanchez. This was another really fun fight.
I fucking loved this fight.
Hey, so you mentioned this before going into this card. Don't focus just on the main event.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, the main event was what I was scared of, right?
Yeah, it happened exactly
with
how
it being the main event.
What I was worried about. Yeah.
But a lot of the fights on the event delivered. This being one of them. Andrew Sanchez, great wrestling.
Yeah.
Fantastic wrestling. Whenever he had the opportunity. And, if...
what did he land, like 6 takedowns or something like that?
Something crazy, man. But he was able to capitalize every single time Silva made a mistake. But, dude, Silva, those shots to the body were insane. Look at...
Dude,
Rich,
the body
Rich
work.
Casual, dude. Look at that. Has the pictures ready to go.
He would get him against the cage and Sanchez shell up and he's just like...
Dude,
straight to the body.
3-4 shots
oh my God.
right to the gut. Absolutely savage. And those were hard shots, man. Hard shots.
7 takedowns for Sanchez. 7 takedowns in 2 rounds.
7 takedowns for Sanchez. 7 nut shots for Sanchez. Dude, he kept on kicking him right in the nuts.
3
over
times,
and over
right?
again. 3 times. And then finally, no nonsense, Keith Peterson said, I'm no nonsense Keith Peterson. What am I doing? That's enough nonsense. And took a point.
Dude, how about this? Andrew Sanchez lands 26 headshots. Bruno Silva lands 21 body shots.
Ooh.
He almost outstruck him just to the body alone.
Wow.
I love seeing body shots, bro.
Dude, we got the best of both worlds because you love seeing body shots. I love seeing punches and bunches.
Yeah.
Dude, it was fantastic. We were both just sitting there watching going like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm glad they took a point, though, in that third round.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
And I don't want to say, a lot of people are like, wow, dude, Andrew Sanchez, what an idiot. How are you gonna fight in a 5-round fight eventually if you can't even fight 2? It's like, dude, that was a dogfight, man. It might have looked like he had top control the whole time, but Bruno Silva did a fantastic job off his back.
21 shots to the body?
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude,
that takes a fucking toll on you, man.
Yeah.
And I was going to the local fights, or I went to the local fights a few months back. I let you know about it, and who is CD Powertrain? He goes by.
Yeah.
He works with Holland as well. He had one of the fighters in there, and he was yelling tires, and every time he yelled tires, the guy kicks the dude, and then he's like gas tank, and every time he yelled gas tank, the guy would go to the body. But that's why he was yelling gas tank, man. People don't understand. Like all these shots absorb to the midsection takes a toll on the opponent. right? Just because they're not wearing it like they do with headshots, they're not bleeding or anything like that.
Yeah.
Dude, those are tough, man.
Yeah. And I want to give him credit in that third round. He landed some big shots of his own too.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah, he was fighting all the way to the end, man.
Yeah, but the end was a bad one. Silva was fucking him up at the end. and how about Bruno Silva gets his black belt at the end of this fight? Kind of weird, right? Gets
maybe he had
for 2 rounds and then
maybe he had earned the black belt like the week before, and they're like, we'll just give it to him on national television.
Wins. Yeah,
even though he got out grappled. Okay, so before that, we had Batgerel versus Davis.
Yeah, because we're gonna skip a couple, right?
Yeah, we're gonna skip a couple, just for the sake of time.
Yeah, shout out Lupita Godinez. Didn't make history on the 7-day notice or 7 days back-to-back wins, but I appreciate you trying.
Yeah, props to her either way.
Batgerel, Brandon Davis. Ooh,
dude, this
how just
combination,
clinical and like procedural. Like he's just methodically walking. Yeah, methodically just walking him down, landing the shots that he needs to on the holes that are presenting themselves. Not chasing anything, not going crazy on anything. Just, here's a shot, here's a shot, here's a shot. And eventually do that overhand right. Just fucking.
That overhand right kept on finding a home.
The first one knocked him like 3 feet away.
Yeah, and dude, it's so fast. And Batgerel, on my notes, I put down just a perfect combination of speed and power, man.
Just like so, like this is what you should aspire to be like, right? No holes, just fucking landing his shots where he needs to, not overexerting himself, no looping craziness, just full on like it looked like a video game, like when you throw like techniques in a video game, it's the same every single time. Like that's how he fought. Fantastic job. Great showing.
Hell yeah, man. And dude, okay, so with Batgerel, this is a perfect example of why it is that you watch cards like this. We've said it before. Yeah. This is like when you start watching fighters early on and you see a fight and you're like, dude, this person is going to move up the ranks and they're going to move up the ranks quickly. You wouldn't have caught the ascension if it weren't for these cards right here, right? If you're waiting until the UFC 267s, 268s, 269s to watch those, and you're watching people that have already been in the fight game and made a name for themselves, you're missing out on the Batgerels of the world.
Yeah, for real.
So watch. Or don't
complain.
You're lost.
Yeah, or don't. Yeah, do what you want to do. Shout out For to Win MMA.
For to Win MMA. Hey, and shout out to For to Win, because while I was sitting here, got a notification on my Apple Watch, and it says For to Win started following us on Instagram. So shout out to you, man. We'll follow you back. Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
We'll look out for that interview. I've never heard an interview from him. So
that's the thing, man. Like there's other podcasts out there. There's other Instagram pages, of course, social media pages for MMA, and I just want everybody to do well. Like there's enough pie for everybody. Like let's just support each other. Hashtag love one another. All right. Anyways, getting all emo.
Story of the Fight is not sponsored by Apple Inc.
No, absolutely. Story of the Fight not sponsored. Before that, Carnelossi versus Nunes, they kicked it off. And okay, we saw a couple of different ends of the spectrum here, because you had Nunes.
Great fight, by the way.
Yes, great fight. Nunes, a rangy fighter, great striking. And I thought about the difference between Dumont and Ladd, and how Ladd had a hard time getting in.
Yeah.
And she would get hit and stop again and just do this head bob over and over again.
Yeah.
Now, Nunes had range, was able to catch Carnelossi with a jab and some shots on the way in. But Carnelossi did not give two shits and kept on coming in, even though she was getting hit every single time. So she was thinking, you know what? I'm going to get hit once, but I'm going to try to hit you twice. And
not only that, I will close the gap, get past the jab, and get you against the cage and take you down. Determined. Yeah. Now, can you imagine if Ladd's coach was with Carnelossi? Dude, there'd be a supernova. Just, between Carnelossi's determination and, Wes fucking yelling at her in the corner. Yeah.
She'd be unstoppable.
I'm really excited to see both these girls again, dude. Yeah. Nunes looks so good with her hands, dude. Her striking is so good. Look at that. Dude. She was coming, that's the thing. She's coming down with her too. She's not just, it's not just like that. She's coming down on you. Great job by both of them. Yeah, close fight very close up until the last round, right?
Yeah, Carnelossi finished it with the rear naked choke. So
Yeah, I don't know
For
what
sure. Look at the squeeze on that. Oh man, I love seeing shots like this, dude, because you just know how much they're putting into that squeeze, giving every single last ounce that they have. Oh man, I love it. I love it.
So going into that third round, 2 judges had it split. One judge had both rounds going to Nunes.
Ooh.
So that's a third round. That's a do or die round for both of them.
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
And you love to see
fight.
it.
Good fight.
How about a lot of third round finishes this card?
Yeah, there was. What, 3?
I think 3. Yeah.
Yeah. No, dude. Again, it was a good card, man. It was fun. All right, now we have a moment of silence, or what did you call it earlier, Rich? Was it administrative? Something?
Administrative
details.
Thank you.
Yeah. So performance of the night. So we'll start with that. Batgerel gets one for his knockout. Bruno Silva gets one for his knockout. Landwehr gets one for his submission, and Jim Miller gets one for his knockout. Then moment of silence for the fights that we lost. Marina Moros versus Luana Carolina.
R.I.P.
Holly Holm versus Dumont.
R.I.P.
When the fight got canceled and they got Aspen Lad versus Dumont, I was like, oh, it's kind of an even better matchup. Now, kind of wish it was Dumont versus Holly. Ketlin Vieira versus Misha Tate. Tate got COVID. Timur Valiev versus Daniel Santos would have been very fun. Kennedy and Zejiku versus Daun Young would have been really fun. Shara Eubanks versus Luana Carolina.
Yep.
All right. The 2 big ones, though, for me, Julian Marquez versus Jordan Wright was supposed to be on this card.
Dude, so Julian Marquez, for a while there, I was just like so cringy, but now I kind of miss him.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what the hell happened, right? I was watching the weigh-ins live because I was like, fucking Ghost Pepper's going to weigh in. Let's make it happen. So I was watching all the weigh-ins live, and then got to like 10:30, and then it just Marquez never showed up, and I was like, what's happening? Where is he? You missed the cutoff. And then I go online, and no one's talking about it. And I'm like, hey, did Marquez miss the cutoff? Like, what the fuck's happening? No one's replying to me. And all of a sudden,
back texting Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just not responding anymore. And then, but yeah, I don't know what happened. Health issues or something. I don't know what the hell happened. But the big one.
Yes.
The big one that I was very excited for, and I feel like I've been waiting so long to see this dude fight again. Fucking Daniel Santos versus Marcelo Rojo. Why does everybody they book Rojo against? What are they doing?
It's a curse.
I just want to see him fucking fight.
You know, Sanson mentioned the tattoo curse. I don't know what's going on over here, but poor Rojo, he's been booked I don't know how many times already in the last couple months, and just something ends up happening where it doesn't. He was
there. He was there, right, in Ghost Pepper's corner, but like, fuck, dude, I want to see him fight. They keep everybody he schedules against pulls out. They either miss weight, they fucking.
I need to see the
T-Rex
arms, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Santos withdrew. I'm not sure what happened. I hate to say anything, but he was supposed to fight Valiev. Valiev withdrew. Rojo stepped in. Santos ends up agreeing to the fight, but then pulling out. Maybe he
wasn't happy with the matchup?
Maybe he was like, yeah, I was supposed to fight Valiev. And then he's like, I don't want to fight Rojo.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I'm not going to say it. Yeah.
Maybe there's just a voodoo doll, and anybody that Rojo's going to face just gets attacked, man. I don't know. But dude, seriously, think about how long we've been talking about Rojo. Oh, Rojo has a fight coming up. Rojo has a fight coming up. And it just falls through.
He said 3 fights canceled in a row.
Oh, man. Tony coming through top of the morning, fellas. Shout out Tony. Yes. Our dog. All right.
Yeah.
All right. News. Time for news.
Shout out San saying people are pulling out on purpose. It kind of seems like that. When it's 3 in a row, kind of seems that way.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's
Kyler Phillips. Yeah, I did see that. Kyler Phillips versus Marcelo Rojo. Crazy fight. What's crazy is every time someone pulls out, they give Rojo tougher matchups. You know, Kyler Phillips is a dog, man. He's a dog.
No, for sure.
That's a very fun fight.
Tougher matchup, maybe. Can Rojo still pull it off? Absolutely. Yeah. And it'll probably end up being a better W from later on down the road. So,
yeah.
All right. Time for news.
It is news time. It looks like Conor McGregor allegedly punches DJ and breaks his nose in Rome. I'm being told this is Rome, Italy.
Not Rome, Texas.
Not Rome, Texas. Is this like?
Okay.
Do we not have any World Star video? Like nothing leaked?
No video.
Nothing yet. But Will, is this not just the gift that keeps on giving? With
How about
Conor
this?
McGregor?
Well, I got a
The
question.
day before.
If a boxer, is this a myth? A boxer has to like get his he gets punished more harshly if he gets into a fight. Does that not happen?
It's
with
a myth.
UFC fighters. Oh, it's a myth. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Like, I have to register these weapons.
Weapons,
Like that type of thing. Like,
Yeah. So I'm like, how is Conor McGregor getting away with just beating people up all over the globe?
Irish mafia.
Money. Yeah. How about this? He gets his son baptized and christened at the Vatican the day before, like the morning of this.
Dude,
This happened at.
That's baller
that's-
shit, though, man.
Is it baller shit? It's creepy to me, but
That's baller shit, though. At the
I don't know.
Vatican, you take your son to the Vatican to get christened, and then you punch a DJ later on that night.
Yeah. Sam says, get the Rome DJ interviewed on Story of the Fight.
Book him.
Book him.
Book him. Rich, reach out to him.
He's suing Conor.
He's suing Connor?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, well.
Can
Hey, I
somebody
wonder-
tell me who DJ is? I am a casual. It's in the name.
Yeah,
Fashionetti?
Is it Fashionetti?
Yeah.
It's
Francesco
DJ Fashionetti?
Fashionetti.
DJ Fashionetti? Or what?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, well.
Hell yeah. A famous DJ from Italy. His wife and
His
Conor were hanging
profession
out.
Is a DJ. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, his name's not DJ.
You never know. So
That's true.
He presses play on his iPod, and everyone dances.
Exactly. Exactly. New world DJ.
But he and his wife were hanging out with Conor and his fiance in Rome, and at around 2:30 a.m. Sunday, Conor threw a punch landing on his face. Fashionetti says the attack was unprovoked.
Wait, time out. So DJ Fashionetti and his fiance are hanging
No, and his
with,
wife.
Okay, Fashionetti and his wife are hanging
Yeah.
with Connor and D.
And D, yeah.
And then Connor just throws a punch.
So his wife said that they were all hanging out, having a good
Okay.
time. There was another party that Connor was going to go to.
Okay.
He invited Fashionetti and his wife to the next party, and they were talking for a bit, and then all of a sudden, just fucking drops him. And they're like,
Dang.
"What?" So I don't know
Interesting.
what the hell's going on. I don't think Connor was sober. Probably wasn't sober.
Oh, dude, he was probably cooked out of his mind.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. They're both saying that was unprovoked. Obviously, they're gonna say that it was unprovoked, right? They're not gonna be like, "Yeah, we were talking shit to him, and then he dropped me." You know, so like, who knows what the hell actually happened? We're coming from one side that's
I
like
could
clearly.
totally see it, man. I could totally see it. Connor's like, "Hey, DJ Fashionetti, you want to go to the party?" And he's like, "Sure." And he's like, "Hey, can you grab that bottle of Proper 12?" And he's like, "I don't like it." Pop, right in the face.
Yeah.
Gives him one right in the face, dude. I don't know, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
Conor McGregor,
We'll see.
gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Never
Really,
a dull moment with that guy.
Yeah. As Chael said, Connor finds a way to stay in the spotlight.
Yeah, by punching people.
Yeah.
Non-stop. And
Non-fighters.
so awesome. Oh man, all right. That's Conor McGregor for you, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. What's up? What's next?
Next up, we have a quote. Justin Gaethje in an interview says, quote, "I dislike Colby so much, so I want to see Usman really put it on him. But Covington is a damn good fighter, that little fuck. Piece of shit human. But he's a good fighter." The quote got
What
cut
a
off by
great
our
quote.
character limit. Yeah, exactly. And then so I guess my question for y'all is, Usman gonna, and this is a quote, beat the brakes off Colby, or does Colby take this fight?
I think Usman probably beats the brakes off of him.
Can I just say I think that the way that Rich read it was better than the quote itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Man, you got to bring it to life for our listeners, man. People are going to get audio only, and they got to feel like they're there.
Yeah.
that's hilarious. Will, I'm probably going to go up against you on this one.
Oh.
I say Colby Covington brings it, just like he brought it last time. Now, did he get his jaw broken?
Yes.
Yeah. He did.
Was it very close up until that last round?
Yes,
Yes.
it was. And I think it's going to be another very
Has
close fight.
Usman's striking evolved considerably since that first fight? Yes.
Yes. Has Colby's? We don't know.
Nobody knows because he
No,
sat
we
out
don't
and got
know.
a title shot.
We don't know. But we will get to see. And I think that Colby will have an answer for Usman this time. Give me Colby Covington.
Yeah, I think it's going to be I think Usman's gonna win in a dominating fashion.
Hey, also, did Justin Gaethje, looking at this picture, decide to dress like
Is this
Donald
a real
Trump?
picture?
Yeah, this is a real picture. Yeah, did he?
It's gross.
All right.
It's like a
I don't
wax
know.
figurine.
All right, what's next?
Oh, we do have a question, Tansan, asking who the ref is going to be for Usman versus Covington.
I don't
Hopefully,
think
it's
they've
no
said yet.
nonsense. Hopefully, it's no nonsense. Keith Peterson.
I don't think
That's
they've
like
said
that
yet,
sounds like
but-
he smokes a pack a day. Or
Yes,
is
that's
that
the
that
guy.
with all the tattoos.
Yes, love that.
I want
guy.
it to be. I want it to be that one guy.
Who?
The long hair.
Herb Dean.
long hair. Herb Dean.
Herb Dean has long hair. Maybe it's Herb Dean.
We just
I don't
lose
know.
Rich.
Maybe we probably just lost him. Did we?
Let's get
I
that
think we
score out of
did.
the way.
All right,
Yeah, I think his computer died or something.
might have.
Yeah,
But if it's like I said, if it's Kobe versus Usman, maybe Sanchez says maybe it was Mike Beltran.
yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Mike Beltran, maybe.
I can't think of anybody else with long hair. Who am I missing?
Yeah, because I mean, Beltran's got the long beard, right? But
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not
Herb's the
sure.
only guy with long hair, I think. But whatever. We don't have the pictures anymore. Rich had the pictures, but we do have Miesha Tate going hard on Jim West, Aspen Lad's coach.
Yes.
She says Jim West Gold would never speak to one of his male fighters that the way he has to Aspen. Hate to see it. Been there before. Yeah. What do you think? Do you think that's
I think this
accurate?
is I think this is Miesha Tate fighting back against West because of the exchanges they had previously had. Miesha Tate is called Aspen Ladd a coward because
yeah,
she
they're angling
tried
for
to-
fights and shit.
Yeah. Well, when she was weighing in, she pointed out the fact that Aspen Ladd only had one arm up. So she called her out saying, you were trying to hold on to that current with the other hand and you still missed weight by a pound.
Yeah.
Jim West comes back at Miesha saying, you're the coward because you're the one that has been ducking Aspen Ladd. You asked for an easier fight. I have my sources, blah, 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 blah. So this is Miesha Tate's opportunity to come back and jump on Jim West, saying you're
Gotcha.
the only coward in this conversation. Aspen is a fantastic fighter, mentally tough to even attempt that kind of cut. Let me see here. The lack of preparedness falls heavily on you. If you're worried about your, this is a good one. If you worried about her as much as you did your hair, she'd be well off. Hey, that was a good line though.
She's got great hair or what?
I mean, according to Miesha Tate, I'd take it as a compliment. I take it. Vikram coming through and says it probably would be Herb Dean, I guess. That's a good call. Herb Dean.
That's
usually
who I
takes
was
up a lot
thinking of. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll
Okay.
probably be her.
And For the Win MMA says I'd rather see High Road Miesha. This
Agreed.
is unlike Miesha.
Yeah.
You usually don't see Miesha getting into back and forths like this.
That's what
but
earned
this
her
is
a lot
also-
of fans during her Ronda saga, right?
Oh, for
Ronda was
sure.
very nasty, and Miesha was always very respectful. And a lot of people were like, "Wow, Ronda's kind of crazy," and they were like, "Miesha's pretty cool."
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
that earned her a lot of fans.
I agree. And I don't know, maybe this is new Miesha. She has reinvented herself as well. At least that's what she says coming back. She's got that mom power now. And maybe she has
the
that.
mom power.
Maybe it's no nonsense Miesha Tate now.
Could be,
So,
be,
who
but
knows?
like probably not talk when you just had to pull out of a fight. But
Yeah. I mean, wasn't it due to COVID though?
yeah, but I mean, optics aren't good.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be different, I think, if she pulled out of the fight for missing
Yeah.
weight or
Definitely, there's
hashtag,
levels to it, right?
Unknown health reasons,
Yeah.
like everybody does against Rojo. But yeah, I don't know. All right. Do we have anything else, Rich?
Yeah, we got another one. We have our final headline, which is Corey Anderson gets a TKO victory over Ryan Darth Bader. What is
Yeah. I don't know how much is left for Bader.
No, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm happy for Corey Anderson, though. So Corey
yeah.
Anderson says that he's made the most money, and this is what every fighter says, right? As soon as they leave the UFC, they want to make sure that they point out the fact this is the most money I've made in 2 fights than I ever did in my career in the UFC. Like everybody says that whenever they leave. Everybody tries to make it so that anybody listening thinks it's greener on the other side. Might not always be the case, but I'm happy for Corey Anderson. I'm glad that he's making more money, according to him, and that he's pulling out some victories. I mean, Ryan Bader's no punk, but he's also a little bit of an older Ryan Bader. Not the Ryan Bader he used to be. So good for him.
Had a good resurgence in Bellator, right? Bader did.
Oh, for sure, dude. He was a champ. And so to be a champion in any organization, you got to be pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And then was like, move over.
I'll tell you this. When I was in, this is how long Ryan Bader's been fighting. When I was in middle school, I had a dream that I was in
okay,
class.
hold on. This is a family show.
Yeah. I had a dream that I was in PE class, and Ryan Bader showed up to like teach like a course. That's how long he's been fighting, bro. I was in middle school.
Ryan Bader shows up. He's just like, hey, guys, we're going to do dodgeball today.
Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, dude, Ryan Bader's in my PE class. Like, I was all stoked. I woke up, and I was like, damn.
Can you remember your dreams?
Some dreams. I think it's when
just the ones involving Ryan Bader?
Yeah. When you have a dream and you tell the dream to somebody, once you tell the story, then it's not just remembering the dream. You can also remember yourself telling the story, right? And then,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right. Was there anything else?
But shout out to Ryan Bader. I've always been a fan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's it for the news roundup, and that's it for our talk on lucid dreaming.
Hey, if I could have controlled that dream, I would have fucking
taken him out.
Yeah.
All right.
All dumb.
So, do you have anything else, though, Will?
No. Shout out to everybody who's in here, the upgrade team, fucking real ass people. We'll be back next week.
Sansan.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Baja Mondays, I saw that got booked. Dude, I'm very high on Baja Mondays.
For sure.
Not just because of the knockout in his last fight. Even before that, he has showed...
His story, dude.
And not even just the story, right? Like, he's got everything, in my opinion. He's got the story. He's got a high real knockout. Every time he fights, there's something exciting about it. Dude, that guy, sky's the limit, in my opinion. That guy can go places.
So young, too. So young.
Dude. Yeah.
Looking forward to it. But, man, just a reminder, everybody, every once in a while, we'll have fight companions. And whenever we are planning on having a fight companion, we'll usually announce it, in the show that we do the previous week. But whenever we do those, like last night, we were going to the fight companion, and I was talking to you about it afterwards, where I almost forget that we're recording, and I forget that we're on camera, because it's just so much fun. Like, literally, it's like I'm hanging out with friends, like with the comments coming through back and forth and like the conversations we're having. It's like I'm watching fights with friends. So it's always a blast. And of course, you can find us on Spotify, Breaker, Podcast Radio, Public, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts as well, and YouTube, of course, and social media. Yeah, at Story of the Fight on Instagram and Twitter. Let's see, group chat on Story of the Fight chat on Facebook, and we'll be back here next week, Sunday morning, for church. We got a pretty fun card, dude. Is that Costa versus Vittori? Costa versus Vittori. Yeah, that's a fun card. Cringe title. Dude, Ricky Glenn versus Grant Dawson. Jessica Rose Clark is back versus Jocelyn Edwards. Dude, come on. Bruce Leroy versus Sungwoo Choi. Oh, Bruce Leroy, another Story of the Fight alum. Yeah, go back and watch the interview. Francisco Trinaldo versus Dwight Grant. Massive fight there. Jeff Molina versus Daniel Lacerda. Great fight. And let's not forget Souza versus Reina Marcos. Ooh. This is Paulo Costa's return after the hair transplant. So I'm excited to see what the hairline looks like now. Is there any little bald patch in the back? Like, there's a lot to see. Dude, Jeff Molina, I'm super high on him. That's going to be a fun fight. Kama Worthy versus Jai Herbert. Kama Worthy, okay. Great He's always fight. Fun. Yep. Jamie Pickett versus Laureano Starpoli. We got Young Park. The fucking Iron Turtle coming back. Iron Turtle. Card. That's a badass nickname. Yeah. Iron Turtle. That guy's a savage, bro. Come on. This is a fun card. Very fun card. All right. You got anything else? Let's see. For the win. I'm down if you guys are. For the collab, I'm super down always. Let's make it happen. All right. Let's do it. Thanks for listening to another week of Story of the Fight, everybody. Collab sounds fun. Huh, Will?